Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the MLB matches that are happening on Monday, July 24, 2023. We will be providing our team and total picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. Our Patreon is a way for you to support our channel and help us improve our content. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Tarik Skubal had a rough outing in his last start, but he was strong in his first two starts of the season. Ross Stripling has been trying to find his footing with the Giants this year. Both offenses have been struggling, but the Tigers have been slightly better in their last 11 games. I think the Tigers will win this game as a home underdog. When looking at the last handful of games for both starting pitchers, there are a lot of runs given up. Ross Stripling is 0-1 with a 5.19 ERA and a 1.15 WHIP in 26 innings during his last 7 games, while Tarik Skubal is 0-1 with a 5.25 ERA and a 1.08 WHIP in 12 innings during 3 games. Throughout the month of July, neither team is pitching too well as San Francisco is 18th with a 4.53 team ERA, while Detroit is 15th with a 4.25 team ERA. All in all, go with over 7.5 runs in this game. Baltimore Orioles vs Philadelphia Phillies. I'm going to lean toward the Phils in this spot as they return home after a tough trip. Expect the Rays to have a bit of a letdown after a tough weekend battle with the Rays. Creamer has 10 wins this season, but he does give up a ton of hits per inning pitched and his whip rises on the road. Runners on the bases will be an issue against a Philadelphia team that hits better at home and has power bats scattered throughout the lineup. Phillies starter Sanchez has put up good numbers despite going winless thus far this season in his first 7 starts. He has an excellent whip, particularly over the course of his last 3 starts, so he should be able to keep the Speedios off the base paths. Take the Phillies with the money line. The Philadelphia Phillies return home looking to solidify their push toward another visit to the National League playoffs in 2023. The team's push took a hit over the past several games after the team had surged past second-place Miami in the NL East division standings. The Phillies dropped 4 straight games, including the first 2 games in Cleveland against the Guardians over the weekend. On Sunday, in the series finale, Philadelphia prevailed 8-5 in 10 innings to stop their 4-game skid. Closer Craig Kimbrell blew his first save of the season in the 9th, but the Phillies rallied for 4 runs in the top of the 10th to pick up the win. Our total pick is over. Colorado Rockies vs Washington Nationals. Although both of these teams are in last place in their respective divisions, they both won their weekend series easily. This series may not be as boring as you would think, given that both teams have a win percentage below .415. Despite their recent success, I am betting on the Nationals to win this game. First, they just crushed the Giants, outscoring them 21-5 over their 3 weekend games. They are playing decent baseball, and I believe they are the more well-rounded team. The Nationals do not score a lot of runs, but they are ranked 5th in team batting average, .262. It appears that Washington's offense will have a favorable matchup as they will be facing reliever Jake Bird. This is because the Rockies' bullpen is ranked 25th in ERA, 4.59, and 27th in WHIP, 1.45. I believe that the Nationals will win this game easily. Therefore, I recommend betting on the Nationals with a money line. As I was alluding to above, I'm expecting a decent offensive output from the Nationals in this one. They're running into a Colorado bullpen that hasn't been great this year. On the flip side, the Nationals' arm barn has been equally as bad. They're ranked 29th in both ERA, 5.44, and WHIP, 1.50. They've also given up 56 home runs this year, which is tied with Oakland for last in the MLB. It's worth noting that the pitching staff was solid over the weekend as they gave up just 5 runs to the Giants. But I still think this Rockies offense, which scored 12 runs over the weekend, should find enough success to push this game over the total. Let's root for offense in this one. Give me the over. Kansas City Royals vs Cleveland Guardians. The Royals have struggled all season, and they haven't had much success against the Guardians, losing 5 of 7 meetings. Yarbrough was a feel-good story after returning from facial fractures earlier this season, but he's still had issues retiring hitters in key spots. Allen has acquitted himself well as a rookie after being thrust into the rotation due to injuries to Tristan McKenzie, Cal Quantrill and Aaron Civale. The Guardians have momentum going for them with 4 wins in 5 games entering Sunday, and they are in striking distance in the watered-down AL Central. Cleveland takes care of business here to take the opening game of the series. Our team pick is Cleveland Guardians minus 1.5 runs. Cleveland won their 2nd straight and their 4th in the last 5 games as they managed to claw out a win in the middle game of their set with the Phillies Saturday night. The Guardians entered Sunday 49-49 on the season and stood second in the AL West, 2 games behind the Twins for the top spot. They were 4.5 games behind the Blue Jays for the final wild card spot in the American League. In Saturday's game, Cleveland finished with 5 hits with no player having more than one. Jose Ramirez drove in the lone run in the 6th inning to give the Guardians the win. Tanner Bybee, 6'2", earned the win as he threw 7 shutout innings, allowing 2 hits with 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. Emmanuel Clase worked a 1-2-3 9th inning, striking out 1 for his 28th save of the season. Our total pick is over. Seattle Mariners vs Minnesota Twins. Kenta Maeda has allowed a lot of hits, but he has been tough on home runs and has been able to strike out a lot of batters, especially at home. This has continued into July. Luis Castillo has been struggling on the road this season and has allowed a lot of home runs at night. In July, home runs have continued to be a problem for Castillo, and I expect the Twins to take advantage of this at home. Therefore, I recommend betting on the Minnesota Twins moneyline. Both of these clubs bring up the rear in the league in terms of strikeouts. While each team has seemed to hit the ball better post All-Star break, Maeda has been able to generate Ks in seemingly any setting. Couple that with the Twins' bottom 10 batting average, and there is a clear path to their offense being flummoxed by Castillo, as he finished with 11 Ks in 6 innings against the Twins earlier this season. Even with home run potential, I expect the pitching staff of each club to get the upper hand. The play is the under. Texas Rangers vs Houston Astros. Nathan Eovaldi has been dominant on the road this season, posting a 6-1 record with a 2.76 ERA and a 1.09 WHIP in 11 starts. The Texas Rangers pitching staff is ranked second in the league in team ERA on the road, 3.79. The Rangers have been playing well since the All-Star break, winning 6 of their last 8 games against the spread. They have a winning record on the road this season, 25-21. The Houston Astros have lost 2 of their last 3 home series, and they have lost 3 of their last 4 games at Minute Maid Park. The Astros offense has been struggling at home recently, batting just .188 with a .305 slugging percentage in their last 5 games. The Rangers have been hitting well on the road, batting .277 with a .470 slugging percentage in their last 7 games. Houston has scored 4 runs or less in 4 of their last 5 games against weak pitching teams. Based on the trends and statistics, I recommend betting on the Texas Rangers to win on the road on Monday. 2 of the 3 games played between these 2 teams at Minute Maid earlier this season went under the run total. A trend may be forming, as all but 3 of the 10 games Texas played against the Astros on the road last season went under as well. The Rangers' offense has struggled to hit consistently at Minute Maid Park over the past 2 seasons, producing a .224 batting average with a .282 OBP and .330 slugging percentage in 13 games. Eovaldi has been effective pitching against the Astros on the road in his career, producing a 2.95 ERA and 1.15 WHIP over 3 starts. He has also pitched very well recently overall, compiling a 1.96 ERA in his previous 3 starts. The Rangers have pushed or gone under the run total in 7 of their last 10 games on the road, and they pushed or gone under the run total in 3 of Eovaldi's last 4 starts. The Astros have gone under the run total in 4 of their last 5 games. Texas has scored over a full run less on average on the road than they have at home so far this season, and the Astros average a run more on the road than they do at home. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair when these 2 teams meet in the series opener. Take the under. Pittsburgh Pirates vs San Diego Padres. The San Diego Padres will send veteran ace Yu Darvish to the mound in the first game of their series against the Pittsburgh Pirates on Monday night. Darvish has been dominant in his last 2 starts, striking out 31 batters in 100 pitches against the Philadelphia Phillies and Toronto Blue Jays. The Pirates have been struggling recently, losing 10 of their last 13 games and falling to last place in the National League Central. They have also been terrible on the road, going 20-29. I expect Darvish to continue his dominance and lead the Padres to a win by 2 or more runs. The aforementioned Pirates have been horrendous away from PNC Park lately, losing 15 of 19 on the road. Rich Hill will take the mound, and he has not been sharp. He has allowed at least 3 runs in each of his last 7 starts and now holds a 6.53 ERA in July after maintaining a 3.86 ERA during June. He's also lost 4 of his last 5 decisions and comes into this tough road start against the Padres, holding a 4.84 ERA and 1.45 WHIP on the year, which looks better than it actually is. The total number has gone over in 5 of Pittsburgh's last 6 games. I do not expect Hill to contain a Padres lineup that is seemingly awakened after the All-Star break. Take the over. Cincinnati Reds vs Milwaukee Brewers. The Cincinnati Reds have rebounded from a slide by winning 5 consecutive games after sweeping the Diamondbacks. The Reds are actually better on the road where they stand 7 games above the .500 mark. The Brewers are only 4-5 in their last 9 home games. Furthermore, Brewers starter Graham Ashcraft has been outstanding recently, allowing 2 or fewer runs in 3 consecutive performances, equating to a stifling 2.00 ERA on the month. He limited the Brewers to 1 run in 6 innings in that span. Brewers starter Colin Ray has posted a poor 4.96 ERA this month. The Reds have won in 3 of Ashcraft's last 4 starts. Our team pick is Cincinnati Reds. Colin Ray will take the mound to begin the series. Ray was solid in his latest outing, conceding 3 runs, 2 earned, in 5 innings against the Phillies, resulting in a no decision in a game the Brewers won. The veteran has a poor 4.96 ERA in his 3 starts this month and has been mediocre, posting a 4.64 ERA and a 1.21 WHIP, accompanied by a 5.4 record in 85.1 innings on the year. Ray allowed 5 runs in 4.2 innings against the Reds earlier this month and has a 6.20 ERA and a 4.0 record in 20.1 career innings against the rivals. Milwaukee has been one of the better teams in the big leagues in the last month. They have won 3 of their last 4 series, including a series victory in Philly, but dropped 2 of 3 to the Braves on the weekend. The offense is producing despite missing key hitters. Brian Anderson and Rowdy Tellez will not play in this series. The Brewers are 7-3 in their last 10 decisions. Our total pick is over. St. Louis Cardinals vs Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks and the Cardinals are both looking to snap losing streaks on Monday night. St. Louis is having a hard time trying to keep pace in the standings with the rest of the division, whereas Arizona is pushing for the top spot in their division by tracking down the Dodgers. Wainwright has had some poor performances for the Cardinals this season, as the team is 1-6 this season when he starts. Arizona will more than likely utilize a bullpen game because they have not named a starter as of Sunday night. The Diamondbacks have pitched poorly this season, too. That means the offenses will be leading the charge, and if it comes down to that, I will take Arizona. The Diamondbacks are hitting .283 against St. Louis this season, and they have scored the 8th most runs. St. Louis is hitting .245 on the road. Take the Diamondbacks with the run line. The over is the play in this game, as pitching will be struggling in this night game. Wainwright has an ERA of 9.23 during night games, and Arizona has the 6th worst team ERA in baseball. Runs will be scored all game long, as the over has hit 3 of Arizona's last 4 games. The over has hit 4 of St. Louis's last 5 games. Take the over on Monday. Toronto Blue Jays vs Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers boast a 23-20 run line record as home favorites, the second best record in those games, min. 10 games. They sport a 46-36 RL record with no rest between games as well. The Blue Jays have a 24-28 run line record on the road, the 4th worst road RL record in MLB. They're also 38-45 RL with no rest, the 6th worst record in those games this year. Toronto is going through it, losing consecutive series against West Coast foes. It needs to get back on track, but doing that against a very hot lot team will be challenging, to say the least. Los Angeles has won several straight series, including consecutive sets against division leaders Baltimore and Texas. It's slashing .274 BA, .3680 BP, .497 SLG, .865 ops at the plate this month, scoring 6.8 runs per game. That's significantly better than it performed in June when it was just 12-12 overall. Barrios walked 4 batters in his last start and gave up 7 hits in his previous outing. He's also prone to the long ball, as he surrendered 5 HRs in his last 3 starts of June. He'll have his work cut out against this potent Dodgers lineup. Grove might not be the easiest pitcher to back as a betting favorite, but he's held his own for the most part. The young righty has momentum on his side following consecutive wins over quality opponents and can be counted on for 5-ish innings on Monday. That said, this matchup is more about the offenses than the pitching. The Dodgers have my bet in this scenario, and while they are -130 ML favorites, I predict the final score will be a 2+ run victory for LA. Los Angeles took care of business in Arlington against Texas, winning the series via 2 knockout victories, 11-5 and 16-3, on Friday and Saturday. LA has won 4 straight series, generating a 4-game lead in the NL West division. Our total pick is over.